Hello Aquarius, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, I am Nicole. It is a privilege to have every single one of you. Aquarius, this is going to be your mind, body, and spirit or soul reading. This video is timeless, so whenever you find it is when you're meant to see it. Aquarius, this will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. Guys, always discern the messages accordingly, reverse the roles as it applies, should it need to. So this reading basically is designed to bring emphasis to what it is our mind needs to take in and understand, what it is our body or 3D realm needs to, what it is that we need to address, and then our spiritual connection to the divine and any messages that they have for us in regards to our evolution and our growth. So with that, Aquarius, did receive a message from Spirit, and they were saying to you that your development is not going to harm you. So whatever that means for you, I don't know, but you discern the messages accordingly. So with that, we're going to jump right into it. I will say to you guys too, hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My readings have been a little slow in coming out, some autoimmune issues, but I think we're on the mend now. So please be patient with me as I get to December's readings, the weeklies, the dailies back. So this week was a little bit of a rough week for me, and then the holiday on top of it, right? So just so you're in the know, right? What's going on? So Aquarius, first card out for the mind is to protect. And I think that it's funny that they said, that your development is not going to harm you, and you may be feeling the need to, it's almost like overanalyze, like you're proceeding very cautiously, like overthinking, overanalyzing possible scenarios to the way things work out in your world. Why people show up, what it is they intend on, what it is they are searching for or leaning into when it comes to you. And it says now is the time to get some protection in place. And I think that the protection isn't so much with the people as it is the boundaries that you need to make for yourself when it comes to other people. There is a difference between the two. 2, 3, 4 on the timer there. I do feel like you try to be proactive about this, and I don't think that it's a bad thing, but when it becomes obsessive, that's when it becomes a problem, okay? When it comes to the body, detach. Don't search for a place of belonging is what Spirit is giving me. It's almost like if you try to insert yourself into certain things that don't belong to you, it's going to restrict the flow of the things that are meant to come in for you, is what Spirit is giving me. And then in relation to Spirit, they're trying to teach you to release. In order to detach, we need to be able to release when we detach from things. You're being asked to release any toxic people or situations from your life. You deserve to be free of all the drama, and this is the first step to achieving that. And they're asking you to pivot on how it is that you reach those different areas, right? Pivot in the way that you protect yourself. Like I said, I don't think that it's so much the people as it is the way you're viewing it. I think the detachment is understanding how it is that you step outside of that so that you don't make yourself feeling like you have to belong to something in order to be wholly you, and then pivot to release these things as well. And Spirit is guiding you through that at this time. So, guys, I've got some sniffles. My ear is clogged up again. It's the typical for me, it feels like. So bear with me as I sniffle so I don't have to hear myself echo. It's been a week. All right. Spirit for Aquarius, what is this protect? What is this protect? The Spirit is also saying a renewed lease on life as well. When you release yourself from these attachments, they're able to work in a more playful way with you that brings in a more lighthearted energy and a lighthearted approach. so that you do move past anything that's been related in the field of drama or anxiety, or people that are just, it's like they try to pull you into their bullshit. Like, you deserve to have peace. Give yourself peace. You know, give yourself the gift of peace this holiday season, kind of thing. All right, let's see. Protect for Aquarius spirit. All right, Four of Pentacles. Holding on, holding back, right? That is that need of protection, kind of hanging onto things. The Ace of Swords that came out for Pisces or Libra, I forget which, and the Six of Swords. Here's the thing, in regards to the mind space, and you got the Queen of Wands, there's an intuitive awareness about you guys. Like, you do see things very differently, right? But it's like you're not allowing yourself, like, you could be protecting yourself in certain situations on a mental level. The way I see that is like the overanalyzing of situations. Like, you are kind of still a part of something. It's interesting, the protect and the detach are kind of overlapping each other. Even though you know that a certain situation or persons or people or whatever is not good for you, you stay in it, but you become defensive while being in it. And it's like, I think that Spirit is asking you to ask yourself why you hold on to this. And I think it's the idea of belonging, or a system or an idea of how something was supposed to be, because you're like half in and half out, and you know the truth. You know the truth of a situation. And I said to you about, you know, there's that protect card, and I've said this about this Queen of Wands time and again in this deck. She's protecting her nest. She's protecting and ready to defend and take action and strike if she needs to. And I think that it's funny that the Queen of Wands comes out at the bottom of this, right? Because, like, there's an innocence within you. You could be dealing, and Aquarius, I've said this to you before, I know I have. You could be dealing with, like, maternal kind of energies, where they see you as, like, naive, innocent, unguarded, even though you're guarded. And it's like they feel like they can pull you into something, and they all, look at this hair, oh goodness, they always do. They always pull you into what it is that's going on. And again, it's like, you know that you need to kind of take a step back from this, and you do go into an analysis of what is actually going on. Like, you do see the truth to a situation, but even though you do, you hold on to it hoping for a different outcome, but the outcome is always the same. So it's like, why are you continuing to invest with these pentacles? You've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. You continue to invest into something that does not give back. It does not nourish you, doesn't help you. If you feel like you are constantly, like, in the need to be defensive or protect yourself in a situation with certain people or whatever it is, you really need to ask yourself why it is you're still there. Why you still invest anything into a relationship, into a partnership, into business, into people, into projects, whatever this might be. Like, why am I still investing into something that I know the truth behind it, and I know the truth is that I need to walk away from this, but yet I'm still hanging on to it. It's about you needing to set healthy boundaries, and it's okay to say no and walk away. So in the mind space, it's like Spirit is trying to resolve you to understand the big picture, that the needing, again, that overlapping of the protect and the detach, that you need to remove yourself from a particular situation. It's a necessity if you want to move on and move forward in life, away from all of the things that cause greater conflict in your mental energy. Five of Cups, because it's always leading to loss. Like, there's always disappointment tied to a certain way of doing things, is what Spirit is saying. And if there's a certain way of doing things, odds are you're interacting with other people, and it's always leading to the same kind of result in the end. and it's like, you know, crying over spilled milk kind of thing, missing the lesson, rather than understanding that, you know, some people or some situations are not meant to stay in our lives. Or you could also see patterns repeating and you find yourself going back into protection mode on the regular, with just a different person, same face kind of thing. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio. You don't have to be. Talk about that conflict, right? There's that Five of Wands. Everybody's kind of fighting or competing. You may feel like you have to fight or compete to get yourself into a more victorious space or something to that nature when it comes to something or someone. Or I'm going to say, I feel like these are multiple situations. It's not just one. I do feel like there are multiple situations with multiple people. Again, 5-5, the need for change, the need to make a move and step outside of this rather than to stay in it. And it is always tied to somebody else. 3 of Cups. Understand that you're not going to have victory and success over these types of people and or situations. The courage to walk away is the greatest love that you can give yourself. Like when you pull the rug out from under everybody else's feet and they don't get to use you anymore, they don't get to abuse, then again, they see you like you're naive, Aquarius. And it's like the sooner you check out, all of that shit stops. You've got complete power and control here to walk away from these things, but yet you still choose to stay a part of it. It's a choice at this point for you guys. What is this detach about? King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the Devil, right? Yep, it was the Devil. I was right. Okay. Father of Pentacle, Knight of Pentacles, the Devil. 8 of Wands in the reverse, the Hermit. This could be the need to detach from a child. Your own toxicity, Aquarius, it's almost like you guys want to nurture. In the regards of stability and security, you want to nurture, and there's your fixed energy, by the way, coming into play. One-sided way of doing things. You want to give or nurture, but you're involving yourself in a space of nurturing people in the material world that don't need to be nurtured. It's a control mechanism. You know, that devil holds control. He holds power. He holds authority, but in all the wrong ways. Somebody could have put you on the back burner. Somebody could have shut down on you. Others, you could see that things are, you almost may feel like you're attacked in some way too, which is interesting, seeing this 8 of Wands like this, because I've never seen this 8 of Wands in that fashion. It's like, there you are, and you've got 7 outside sources around you. It's funny because you've got the 7 of Cups back here as well. Most of these situations that you're dealing with, or where you've seen these kind of behaviors from other people in your 3D world, they're karmic. There's one in this that I said may have walked away, and that 7 of Cups on here, you've got that 1 cup that's upside down, the other 6 are upright. One person could have walked away from the dynamic with you and just said, fuck it, like, I'm done. Cut off communication, whatever. That lesson was meant to send you into self-realization mode. There's a reason that this person detached from you, because you weren't learning a lesson. They may have, but you did not. But now you've got these other situations that you continue to go back into that are they may resemble, like, when I say resemble, it's like you may compare this energy or these energies with that one specific that walked away. You're going to know how this fits into your life, right? But you still keep going back to that energy or those kinds of people. But the difference is with those 6 of Cups, like I said, you've got those 7 Wands there. One just kind of said the hell with it. Like, I'm not going to do this. They learned a lesson. But these other people that are around you, they're taking advantage of what they see as naive of you. And they're not going to learn the lesson because you're meant to learn the lesson. They're there to show you what that lesson is over and over and over again until the light bulb goes off for you. But Spirit's asking you to learn how to be the one to walk away now. Someone showed you what it was to walk away. Now you need to be the one to walk away. Because that's what you ultimately should have done in the beginning. It was meant to teach you how to find the courage and the strength to detach from situations that are not serving of you in the 3D. Especially when it comes to security and stability. The Devil is also obsession. 5 of Cups, that's, you know, being left emotionally vulnerable, open, feeling left out, neglected, hurt. And it's like you're always reaching for that supportive energy. But the people that you're dealing with most often are not going to be the ones that are going to be that supportive energy that you need. You're holding on to the wrong ones. I think the one that walked away, and this can be friendship, partnership, romance, business, I don't know. You know, it's going to be different for all of you. The one that walked away is the one that you should have held on to, because it was, I'm hearing, loyal. So, you know, you discern that accordingly. All right. And what is this release, Spirit? What is this release? 9 of Cups, the Justice card, the 10 of Wands, the Lover's card on the bottom. I said this was your choice, right? There it is. Overall energy of the choice. You need to make the choice to pivot and change up the way that you're doing things. The 9 of Cups, the Justice card, the 10 of Wands. In regards to your spiritual aspects, Spirit wants you to understand that the one just thing that you've tried to hold on to, Aquarius, I feel like has also been your emotions. To give up the emotional energy of completion when it comes to other people. That the complete emotional energy that you need is within you first. And you have to find a way to balance that. It's almost like you lean too far into the dark side of it rather than into the light of it. The 10 of Wands, those are those burdens, the emotional burdens and strife that come in with the changes that need to happen. And it's almost like when there's drama or conflict around a situation, when you're able to have somebody side with you or agree with you or support your side of a situation, that's when you feel like the most love comes in. Okay? And with that, like, that's an unhealthy kind of love. That's an unhealthy 1818 on the clock, an unhealthy kind of attachment. So it's like they want you to release the idea that it is tied to something or somebody else's positioning of how you feel. You need to be in complete control of how you feel without the validation from another person or another situation that says, yeah, that wasn't right, or this was wrong, or this should have been this way. They're asking you to fulfill those cups on your own. Your wish fulfillment comes from learning to love yourself and validating only you, not other people, to validate how you feel. That's what makes it just and fair. And then once you get to that point, then other choices are going to arise that are going to be on a higher level of commitment for you, whether it's romance, business, whatever, friendships that are more grounded into a realistic expectation of what they're supposed to be, rather than the drama that encompasses all the other ones that you've been dealing with. And it's funny because the people that have seen you as naive or stupid, you know, shame on them, they're projecting like what they're, because they see you as like stable, consistent, constant energy, but they try to project how they feel being naive or manipulative, obsessive, love bombing kind of energy. The things that they try to do to you is something they project on you, you know? So, big surprise there, right? All right, Aquarius. One card on this, please. Five of Pentacles. These actions of these people, they tend to make you feel like you're in loss and regret. And then it's interesting too, because they're takers. And I think that you're afraid that if you release this, though, you're going to be alone, and you're not. Like, you're going to sustain a loss, but what you don't realize is by releasing these people and these situations that are presenting false love, false wish fulfillment, that it's going to open new doors of opportunity for you. And Spirit is saying this could go back to father figures. I don't know. They're bringing up the year 1974. Random as fuck. But 1974 for some of you. So my older, more mature Aquariuses, 1974 is a year. I don't know what the hell was happening then, but there you go. All right, advice. Advice 2112 on the clock. It's reflective to something about that. Advice for the mind, for protect, for Aquarius, please. What is the advice? Strength. I've seen that card a couple times for you guys. You guys have, you do have some, so like there, it's funny because this goes back to masculine energy. Could be a father figure, but what's interesting is in the now, you have a masculine energy. Spirit is saying it doesn't have to be a male. It could be even a female embodying that masculine, bossing it up kind of energy. You had support or have support around you, but you keep falling back into this stuff from the past that it just kind of lingers and carries on and forward. In regards to the mind, dynamism came out sideways. 7, falling eagle. It's interesting the way I'm seeing this card, creation. You see these guys in the 5 of Wands, right? They're reaching for that fire, that light. When this eagle comes out in this position, sideways, you see his talon reaching out for that light too. To me, there's so much seriousness. It's like trying to get to that end goal, finding the light at the end of the tunnel. It's always like right within your reach, or you see it as right within your reach when it comes to the situations you're holding on to. And you may be trying to change another person's perspective. Like, I know they have to see this. How can they not see this way? It's not your job to teach them that. It's their job to figure it out. 23, 23, 5, 5. You have to change, and there's 2 5s laying here, the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. You have to change the way you see it, because they're not, whatever you're hanging on to, they're not willing to change. And right now, the only change that has to take place is within you. You have to stand in your internal truth that you know this is something you need to go, walk on away from, or go away from, or move on from, because it's always like it rehashes old pain. Like, you've learned the lesson, now to heal it so that you can move on and move forward. And I think that it is something that you ruminate over, but it's easier to hold on to the memories and the bullshit and relive it than it is to let it go and release it all together, to detach from that, because it's become so much a part of your story. It's like, if I didn't have this to talk about, what would I talk about then? You'd have to learn a new way of doing things, and that's really uncomfortable. All right, what is this detach about? Advice for detach. Consequences. That came out in Libra's reading. P.S. That was just done. I think there's a fear. Got 7-7 here also on the advice. it's almost like being fearful of happiness. It's waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're looking at this, like, you know that there's a lot of, like, if you were to make a pros and cons list to the things that you need to detach from, or the people you need to detach from, the con list is a hell of a lot longer than the pros. But then you find equally the amount of cons as to the reasons you need to let go. It's like, well, I shouldn't, I couldn't, I don't want to. There's something about telling your story, telling all, what it is that you know. I'm going to say you could have been dealing with somebody, or you could be dealing with somebody in their 20s. Could be a masculine embodying a lot of feminine energy, or vice versa, in the sense that it's like, how do I put this? If it's a feminine energy, they're probably acting like they're about 17 if they're in their 20s. They could be really immature. If you're dealing with a masculine energy, they could very well be 17-ish or so, or maybe a little bit older, but they have the tendency to act that way. You know what I mean? So it's like, think about the male, like the females tend to mature faster. So you could be dealing with an older female who acts in that age range. But it's just the way they show themselves, and then they think that you're naive. Like, you've gained a lot of wisdom over the years. They may not think that you see through, but you do, and they think that you don't because you stick around. So be aware of that. And they may not be as smart as you are in life experience, but they will burn you in due time. And I'm going to say for some of them, they already have. So be mindful of that. Be very mindful of that. Advice when it comes to release. Consistency, and it's going to relate back to your thought process, but it's also relating to the bonds. You've got to be willing to let go of that. I just said, it's like the same story. Like, if you don't have that story to talk about because it's so repetitive, it's like you have said it and talked about it so much that it is ingrained and imprinted in the structure of your brain that has become your story. And it's the consistency of the bonds because they keep repeating. Again, there's the need to release this, to let this go. The Spirit is advising you very heavily to let go of those toxic bonds and traits. You have another 5 here. 775 could be very important, but those 3s, how that external energy is affecting your choices and your connection to the divine, to change your belief system. Because I feel like a lot of you guys are jaded by this masculine energy from the past. And it's like you have to be fierce. You have to feel like you're protecting yourself. You have to feel like you're a part of it, so you know every single thing that's going on. But what you don't realize is you have more power in walking away than you do in staying. I hope that makes sense. So, Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there. If you found this video resonated for you, like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal readings are open and available starting Monday. That information can be found in the description box below, the About section of the page, and at holisticallyzenwb.com for a full list of products and services. Thank you guys for tuning in and spending some of your time with me. I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon.